Hi everyone. I wanted to share this student update via a video because this update is going to be quite involved. What we're going to do in this video is wrap up the spring semester, and I want to communicate some plans for the summer semester. So first, let's wrap up the spring 2020 semester. I want to commend every single one of you for adjusting and being flexible and working out what you need to get to this point in the semester. It really has been kind of a crazy time, but we are planning to move forward and have plans in place for the most part for going into the summer. So for spring 2020, the administration has told us there is no official finals week, so there's not a very rigid finals schedule. But for the faculty, we are working to ensure that we don't overwhelm you with our last tests. I do want to communicate that all work that have been given to you, we cannot take any late work past May 22nd. If you have a current deadline, those deadlines need to be met. But really, we are going to be pretty rigid about May 22nd. All classwork ends on that day. We need to have the opportunity to formulate and work through getting our grades posted for you all. I do want to communicate that some courses will be assigned a grade of an incomplete, but that's because there are labs that absolutely could not be conveyed online and will have to be conducted on campus. Those courses that have these labs that need to be completed for the spring, you will be contacted individually via email or through your instructor on completing these labs. The labs will be completed in early June, and I will get into that in a little later when it comes to coming on campus. Your grades will be posted at the latest on May 26th. We do have to finish our grading as a faculty and get our official grades posted. So the latest that you will see grades in iStar is the 26th. So we ask that you are patient and ensure that give us the time to get our grades posted within the iStar system. I do have the information needed for returning book rentals for those of you all that rented books through the bookstore. And in preparation for the summer semester, if you haven't been told, the bookstore is shipping all books at no charge to you if you're buying your books through the bookstore. The summer schedule, our summer schedule, all online components, lectures, lab preparation, stuff like that, all of that will start on June 1st with the start of the summer, with the official start of the summer semester. For healthcare programs that require some hands-on skills and labs, as well as some on-campus clinical work, will tentatively start on the week of June 15th. So we will be sharing a schedule, but I'll speak on that in a little bit. Again, for this summer, because of the guidelines, we will not be fully face-to-face. We will again be in a hybrid model where your lectures, lab preparation, things like that will be delivered online. And we will also be conducting those on-campus on-campus labs. So this hybrid model is set for the summer schedule, or tentatively set for the summer schedule. And it looks like for part of the fall, we'll be working in this manner as well. So we as a faculty have found some quirks and some things in teaching online. We are looking at your synchronous, which means everyone logs on at the same time, versus asynchronous, where you have a pre-recorded lecture, and you can do your work at your own pace, or a combination of those two. We have found that at least having a synchronous weekly meeting gives you all as students some consistency and that FaceTime needed with your instructors. So we are scheduling online sessions for each of the courses that will be a block of time that is dedicated to that course and that instructor. Again, your lectures will be delivered online, whether it be pre-recorded lectures or a synchronous online class meeting, but they are going to be delivered in a virtual manner. Your labs, if you have a on-campus lab, that schedule will be shared, but the information given to you to prepare for those labs will be delivered online as well. On-campus labs and clinicals will only be for practice sessions or competency confirmation. The administration and the system office is being very cautious and very strict about who is on campus and why they are on campus. The greatest concern, of course, is cross-contamination and infection control. And so there will be several things in place that make things a bit different for coming on campus. Your clinicals, as of right now, hospitals are still assessing to see if and when students will be re-permitted to conduct in-hospital clinicals. As of right now, clinical will be a short clinical session that confirms or enhances your or teaches your hands-on skills and competencies, and then enhanced with virtual support. That can be formed of an online lesson or a virtual assignment. Something in your clinical will be enhanced with those skills that we are working with. Other on-campus labs are going to be equipment-focused courses, and obviously we need to ensure that you can put your hands on the equipment so that you can learn these skills necessary. I do want to emphasize that the schedule that you will find in My Lone Star is absolutely out the window and it's inaccurate. So every cohort will receive a schedule of your online sessions, which instructor, and the timing associated with it. We will also be reaching out, each individual instructor will be reaching out to confirm lab times as well as lab sessions. So this will be occurring shortly after this update. Coming back to campus is going to be very different for all of us. It's going to be very different in the sense that it's not as open, the campus isn't as open and as free as it used to. There's going to be very strict guidelines and we're going to take this in baby steps. So the campus is going to be open only to healthcare students that require these on-campus labs. Really, the whole premise of this is you come in, do your thing, and then you move on and get on your way. As much as I would love to hang out and find out how things are going, unfortunately, it's in and out. We want to ensure that you get your education. We want to ensure you get your skills. We want to see your faces. But unfortunately, because of CDC guidelines and the protocol set in place by Lone Star administration, we do have to follow this. So I want to share a little bit of some of the planning that is happening when it comes to arriving on campus. First of all, you will be directed to park in a certain area. Right now, it's going to be parking lot C, which is across from the CLA building. You will be asked that if you have your own PPE, it's okay right now to use your own mask if you want to. But if you are going to use your own mask, to don it in the parking lot. The only entrance to the campus that will be open will be across from parking lot C and the CLA entrance, where you'll be met for screening protocols. There will be several screening protocols right now, because if you have your LSC hospital badge, do wear it so that your identification can be confirmed. The part of the screening protocol is confirming that you are there at the appropriate time and to what building you will be directed to. They will do temperature and questionnaire screening to ensure that you are permitted to come onto the campus. We will be following social distancing protocols, so that does involve being 6 feet apart, practicing proper hand hygiene and infection control. The college will provide your PPE, primarily masks if necessary, and gloves to be worn. We as healthcare are probably the best people to be on campus, so that because you have a decent understanding of cross-contamination and infection control. We as instructors will also ensure that we meet these social distancing and infection control protocols to make sure that we are not cross-contaminating with our equipment or our hand hygiene. Our equipment protocols is we will use CaviWipes on reusable equipment. If you are touching different pieces of equipment, you will have to wipe it down and change your gloves at the end of and anytime you switch pieces of equipment, or and at the end of every lab. I was asked to communicate that really this is going to be a bare bones skeleton type of situation. So the services unavailable include the various cafes, water fountains will be turned off, vending services will not be available. The library, bookstore, and testing center will not be open. So you literally will be coming to campus, taking care of your competency, and then heading on home to take care of online components. It's not ideal, but it is necessary. I also want to communicate that, if in the case that someone is reported as COVID-19 positive, whoever, including the instructor, is in that room will have to be quarantined for 14 days. So we are putting all these protocols in place for these reasons. Now our program is changing quite a bit because of this pandemic and everything we're working towards. I do want to emphasize that, we as a faculty have your education and your competence as our number one priority. And so we want to ensure that you meet everything necessary to be a competent respiratory therapist at the end of all of this. We want to ensure that you're getting the same education as you would if we were face to face. We all know that this would be so much easier if it was the way it used to be, but we are adjusting and doing what we need to ensure this. Being respiratory therapists, that's all we do is adjust. So, we have to change our expectations, and we've learned quite a bit over the last 2 months in delivering a hybrid and 100% online model. So, first and foremost, I want to talk about attending your scheduled online sessions. Now, we've learned quite a bit that online sessions are needed. But at the same time, we're flexible enough to understand that if you miss a session and you are communicating with us, that we'll work out what is needed. Silence is probably the worst thing that can happen in this type of model that we're in. A second expectation of the program is that because we are starting the semester in a hybrid model, knowing what we need to do to deliver your education, that when we set your deadlines, these deadlines need to be met. The adjustment is hard, and I understand that, but we are giving generous deadlines, so it's time to get organized. If you need to put phone alarms in your phone, put a big calendar in front of your computer, whatever you need to do, organization is really important as we're moving into the summer semester. Attendance for on-campus labs and clinical. Again, if you are sick, just as if you were sick for school, you need to communicate with your instructor for your courses and Professor Deering for your clinical. Your on-campus labs and clinical have been condensed, so they're very short sessions just to ensure that you are completing the skills necessary. So I can't emphasize enough how important it is that you show up for your scheduled sessions. Again, your instructors will be reaching out to confirm lab sessions where necessary. And I will be sending each class a schedule of what is happening for your courses for the summer. We are devising a attendance protocol for missing on-campus labs and clinical. We will need to know so that we can either adjust as necessary or communicate appropriately with our administration if you are having to come on a different day or a different time. They are being very stringent about who shows up when and where they're going. You will experience in these protocols quite a bit of detail when it comes to being on campus. Commitment and dedication. As a faculty, we're committed to ensuring that you all are getting the education you need. You all entered this program knowing the amount of time commitment and dedication needed to your studies. And I realized that making the adjustment to being at home and doing a lot of your work from home has been quite disruptive. It has been for all of us. But it's time to kind of refocus and know that if you need to dedicate that time, you need to find a way to rededicate your time to your studies. We can only give so much, and but you know, it's important as a student to remember that what you're working towards is well worth it in the end of all of this. And this is temporary. It might be one, it might be even 2 semesters, but in the long run, you will get every bit of education needed, and you will get every bit of support needed to ensure that you're successful as if we were face to face. Just like any other face to face course or being in this program, communication is key. And let me rephrase that to early communication is key. As soon as you realize that you are going to encounter an issue or you've encountered an issue, if you communicate directly with your professors, your Professor Deering for clinical, or myself, the message will be heard. If you remain silent and we are unable to track down what is happening with you, we don't have a way to fix those things. So we want to be able to support you, but you have to be able to communicate with us. Again, most questions are answered pretty quickly. And if I can't find if I can't answer a question right away, I can always find a way to find that answer. So, and that's the same with all of our faculty. I want to let y'all know that we are proud of you. Um, we are dedicated to you, and we want to ensure that you're getting the education that you need. If anything, this is because it's new for all of us. It's one thing that you definitely can say you've worked through and you can get through this, and we'll ensure that you get what you need. If you have any questions, you know how to contact me and you know how to contact your instructors. If you have any problems, I will be available at all times via my virtual link. My office phone works on my laptop, and there aren't many ways that you can't get a hold of me. So if you need anything from myself, reach out to your faculty, reach out to your instructors, and we're right there with you, and we'll be okay. Y'all have a great one, and I will catch up with you soon.